Hey guys, I'm the SkySpyer and welcome back to the Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Countdown. 2 days away from Xenoblade Chronicles 2's release date, and today's episode is more playful, more laid back, not very serious. We're not analyzing the game, we're more just laying back and pretty much just theorizing about characters, predicting characters, just going through a lot of the characters in the game and me giving just a few thoughts as to what would happen, what might happen, what would be cool, and also some stuff that hasn't really been publicly announced. Just some interesting details about characters, you know? Just get to know these guys a little bit more. Now first off, back when I made the Xenoblade Chronicles 2 analysis, I did point out that Tora, he is not a driver in the same sense as Rex and Nia. He is not able to create blades from core crystals like the two of them, and he uses Poppy, who is an artificial blade. That became more clear now, but because his relationship to Poppy is similar to that. And I would also like to bring up that Chapter 4 out of 10 in this game, it's apparently based around the two of them, or at the very least where they're introduced and more prevalent. They can really bring that relationship far, because the writers have even said that they really enjoyed writing this relationship with Poppy, being not only a blade, but an artificial one. She's a very unique character, and I legitimately like her. At first I didn't care, now I really like her. Now, in the direct, they didn't point out that Poppy, they didn't mention Poppy as Poppy Alpha or Poppy A, but when you look her up, you'll pretty much always find her under the name Poppy Alpha. And look even further, you'll find a form of her named Poppy Beta. So at first it may just look like an upgraded form, maybe more humanistic or more evolved, maybe stronger in battle. However, this isn't an upgraded form of the previous Poppy. They are actually both playable at the same time. Check it out, you have both Poppies in one battle. Kinda crazy, and oh my god, if the two of them are going to converse, like, oh, what? Because at first, we have Tora, who creates Poppy Alpha, and she's supposed to say, like, hello, Master Pawn, how's it going? But he boots her up for the first time, and she's like, how can I be of service, Master? And, like, Tora has a maid fetish, like, that's actually a canon thing.
Poppy?
How may I be of service, Master?
Wait a minute! Oh, forget you see that. Tora must change the settings.
The settings?
Greetings, Master Pawn.
I did it!
Though I was pretty surprised before, when she was all, you know.
Forget about it. That's not Tora's fault. That was, Grumpy Pond.
So, Tora being a little, dirty little kid, oh my god, having two maids at once, I swear, that's where the anime tropes come in, and they can really execute them so beautifully. Okay, moving on, I also want to mention, going on a bit of a darker path, but this is something that we theorized ever since we first knew about Azurda. We kind of think Azurda might die. Here's the thing. He's this father figure of Rex. He's very elderly, playful, and Xenoblade Chronicles 1 definitely had a huge sense of loss. Everyone lost, well, besides Rhine, everyone lost something close to them, and they all really went through a lot of strife. So, if this game really is keeping up that same method of story writing, which really from all of these countdown videos, I have been pretty assured that they are keeping that same style, the death of Azurda would be impactful, and here's why. Azurda is the figure that kept Rex in his childish demeanor and attitude. He is I believe he's the tutorial figure in the game, actually, making all of the learning curves easier for you. So his death would basically force Rex to grow up, like a sort of stunted growth thing. Reminds me of Lucas from Mother 3. I know that's a really bad analogy, but yeah, I have faith that the storytelling of this game can do that. Which reminds me, there was this one piece of art where it showed Rex and Pyra in this super goofy, kiddish art style, and then it showed the two of them a lot more grown up, with Pyra like kissing him on the cheek. They went from just goofing around to each other to like actually forging this romance. It's kind of cool, and while I know the game isn't going to like, you know, actually show growth in that sense, my gosh, like, just thinking about how the two of them can grow and how the people around them, like, their changes can influence Rex and Pyra, because a lot of the story is going to be based around the bond between Rex and Pyra, a lot of it. It's interesting to see how they play with that. So, Azurta dying? Father figures, like, recently father figures have been dying a lot, and that really has been proven to be a very, I've been convinced that that is the most emotional kind of death that you could have in a story, is a father figure's death. Because I can name off the top of my head a lot of them, but you guys will be mad at me for spoiling them. But, yeah. Going back to the driver blade topic, when we look at the footage of people from Torna, there's Malos, there's Akos, and I believe both of them were shown with blades. Actually, even Vandam, the mercenary leader Vandam, he was using rock, and Morag, that antagonist from Morardain, she was using Brigid. So they're all seen with blades. That explains their strength. Jin, the most antagonistic force in this game, is not shown with a blade. Unlike his second-in-command Malos, who has this very wild, aggressive personality, Jin's very enigmatic and he's sympathetic. He doesn't have a blade as far as we're aware. I'm thinking he might be more than human, considering there's a shot where he fights unnaturally quickly, like he's a phantom, just mowing down all of these random soldiers. What if he and Tora are in the same boat, where he is not able to have blades of his own? I read somewhere that his weapon actually has a red glow from it, and all of the people who have blades have a blue glow from their weapons. I'm not sure if that's true. That might be. I just haven't looked over the trailer footage, but if that's so, that would be very interesting. It piles on top of him already being a very enigmatic villain, killing Rex at the beginning of the game and all. Also, I mentioned Morag earlier. I have a feeling that she's going to be a minor antagonist, because we know that she operates in Morardain, and Morardain is a rival country to Gormat, which is the first area in the game, so I feel like the first arc of the game can be related to the relations between Gormat and Morardain, which will really tie in Morag, but I feel like she's just going to be a villain in the first part of the game, kind of like Zord? I think Zord's a very good analogy, kind of like Zord from Xenoblade Chronicles 1. But I do love her design, and I kind of want her to like go on our side for a while, even though I know that won't happen. But my god, her design is my favorite out of all the characters. So hey, who knows what's going to happen with her. Pyra and Mithra. I want to bring up Mithra. I was originally going to mention her in the Blades videos, but we'll just mention her here. So yes, Mithra does, or Pyra does have an alternate form named Mithra. We don't know anything about her. We do know that Rex can change Pyra into Mithra. We don't know how. It's probably either like just clicking on the Pyra button again and switching into Mithra, but who knows. Here's the thing. Not only is this transformation between Pyra and Mithra relevant in story, but also in gameplay, in battle. And they could even take that further. Rex is linked to Pyra. Rex lost his life, and Pyra gave half of her life to Rex. Who knows why? But Rex really relies on Pyra, and if Pyra, apparently if the core crystal on her chest is broken, then she can die, and also if Rex dies, then Pyra can die. So they have this bond that's like really forges their relationship. Now, what happens if Pyra transforms into Mithra? I'm thinking that a really nice way of integrating that plot point into battle is if Mithra is just inherently stronger than Pyra, but Rex starts to lose health when Mithra's active, because he's linked to Pyra, and Pyra being not active would cause Rex to become weaker, almost losing control over his life, while Mithra is super strong. I think that would be a very interesting battle mechanic, a really big sense of risk-reward, which is already prevalent in Xenoblade battle mechanics, like, you know, the chain attack bar, having to sacrifice one to revive someone, you know? That's already in battle mechanics, so yeah. One character that I've always wanted to mention, because this guy, just by looking over trailer footage of this guy and just gameplay footage, good old Zeke. Oh man. So we've seen Zeke for like a half second in the earlier trailers, I believe the one halfway through the year, but now, yeah, he is one of the playable character members, with his blade being Pandoria. First off, I actually really like Pandoria's character design. I think she has this cool, almost steampunk vibe, not quite because of her colors being a lot more, you know, futuristic, but like, you know, just her glasses, like, oh my gosh, I kind of like her design. Zeke, okay, so he has this eye patch, and okay, apparently this is something along the lines of what he says. Under the eye patch, the mind of the hero is hidden! And according to him, the eye patch is to cover his eye of shining justice. So, basically he's Owain from Fire Emblem Awakening. It is fantastic. He's just like so theatrical and crazy. He's very theatrical. Like there's that scene in the character trailer where he's just like, he's about to fall off the edge. He's like, oh, whew! And Pandora's looking down like, you okay down there? Like, he's very theatrical. And people have been describing him as an edgy Rhine. And yeah, he kind of is an edgy Rhine. Although, I already see him having a little bit more backstory than Rhine, a little bit more motivation. He comes from the isolationist titan of Tantal. And Tantal, yeah, they don't interfere with the world's affairs. They're very separated from that, isolationist, and entry into Tantal is very strict. So the fact that Owain is out here doing who knows what, being all goofy when he comes from such a strict country, very serious country as well, very harsh weather and all, that makes him very interesting. And when we eventually visit Tantal later in the game, it'll be interesting knowing that Zeke is going to get his moments later in the game, and it's not going to be over with right when we meet him and see him being goofy. That is good storytelling, knowing that there's going to be more to expect from a character later down the line, making them more complex in that sense. His contrast with his personality and his origins. I like that, you know? Also, his sword is freaking cool. Anyways, that's more or less the major character predictions that I wanted to get out of the way. If you guys have any predictions of your own, make sure to leave them in the comment section below, because I'd love to reply to them. However, this is also 2 days away before the game comes out, so who knows, maybe we'll just have to play the game, or, you know, we can just, like, you know, theorize a bit, like, before we actually get to these moments, so, hey, who knows, I'm here to have fun. Make sure, as always, to like, comment, and subscribe for more on Xenoblade. Tomorrow is the day before Xenoblade Chronicles 2 comes out, and I am going to be talking about a topic that a lot of people have asked me about. A lot of people. By far the thing I've been asked the most. Why I dislike Pyra. It's going to be an interesting video, so we'll see how this goes. It's not going to be a completely negative video. It's definitely going to end on a high note. Don't worry. We always like ending off on high notes. Anyways, make sure as always to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm the SkySpyer, and until then.